Hello friends, I am Siddharth and today I am going to talk about hybrid mutual funds schemes. What does the word hybrid suggests? It will give you a feeling of some mixture. But what mixture are we talking about? When we talk about the mutual fund industry or when we talk about the mutual fund parlance, mixture here, it suggests that we are talking about more than one asset class. Whenever you put together, apart from equity, say equity and debt or equity and gold, or whenever you put together equity, debt and gold, or maybe only debt and gold, or maybe equity and derivatives into a structure known as a hybrid mutual fund scheme, that is what it is all about. Simply put, a hybrid mutual fund scheme is a structure wherein the fund manager is providing a solution to invest into multiple asset class, more than one asset class. It can be equity, it can be debt, it can be gold, it can be two of them or three of them, or maybe even four of them. There are different kind of hybrid mutual fund schemes available in the market to cater to the needs of the different needs of the investors. If you have been seeing our previous videos, you might have been knowing by now, it might be clear to you by now that within equity there are different type of funds, within debt there are different type of funds, and all of them are having different objectives, risk return objectives I mean to say. Similarly, hybrid mutual fund schemes were meant to service the needs of those customers who want the safety of debt, but they want at the same time extra return of equity. Means maximum exposure will be into debt, but very less exposure will be into equity. But nonetheless, it will be just to give you that extra return. That is a basic definition of a hybrid mutual fund, equity and debt combo. Or some people want it the other way around, that I want a fund wherein there is a maximum exposure of debt along with gold. And on top of that, some people want, no, I want exposure of equity also. But again, to reduce the risk, there is some third element, third asset class coming into picture, that is known as derivatives. So you have equity, debt and derivatives. So there are multiple types of hybrid mutual fund schemes. Now let us learn about the different categories. As per SEBI's rules, there are 7 categories of the hybrid mutual fund schemes. First category is the conservative hybrid mutual fund scheme, which is simply an open-ended scheme, which means you can enter anytime, exit anytime. And how does the scheme invest your money? The rule says that the fund manager will be investing 10 to 25% of the money into the equities and rest into the debt market scheme, mainly into the debt market scheme. So very small percentage of exposure will be into the equities, maximum exposure will be into the debt market. This is the point to be noted here. So lower risk, low return. But if you are prepared to take a bit higher risk, then you can go for moderate hybrid mutual fund scheme, wherein the rules say that it is an open-ended scheme and they will be investing 40 to 60% into equities and 40 to 60% into debt. This is the broad range within which the fund manager can play with your money. I mean to say, not the literal one playing around, but he can invest your money 40 to 60%. And the third category is of the aggressive hybrid mutual fund scheme. And as the name suggests, aggressive. So herein the aggressiveness will give you higher return. How does the scheme fund manager makes it aggressive? It is simple talk. Maximum exposure will be into equity and very less exposure will be into the debt. So herein 20 to 35% will be going into debt and the rest will be into equity. And it is also an open-ended scheme. You can enter anytime, exit anytime. So all these 3 categories are the main categories mainly sought after mutual funds within the hybrid space. But nonetheless, there are 4 more categories. Let me mention them. The other 4 categories are the dynamic asset allocation fund, then you have the multi-asset allocation fund, you also have the arbitrage fund, and lastly you have the equity savings fund. Why I have told you just the names of the 4 categories? Because the first 3 categories which I have explained to you in detail, they are the main categories here in the hybrid mutual fund space. So I hope friends that you have understood the concept of hybrid mutual funds and how does the money gets invested, what's the kind of risk return of the fund compared to your risk return. So you should wisely match your risk return objective, your capability to take the risk and your your return objective along with that of the fund. Then you can choose and make smart investments. I hope you liked my video. See you in the next video, guys. Thank you.